Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NRL SC Off the Bench podcast. We're coming to you live on a Tuesday afternoon. Team lists have just dropped. Me and Rosco have got absolutely no idea what's in them yet. We're about to crack them open and see what's going on. How you going there, Rosco?
Oh, mate, I'm feeling better than what was on Sunday night. I've been getting over this dreaded flu that I've got, and I just want to set things straight. Right, I did not miss the podcast on Sunday night because I scored a measly 830 points. I missed it because I literally had no voice, and as you can tell by my voice, I'm still getting over it. I'm at the back end of it. I've had it for about a week now, and I've pretty much been bedridden for the last couple of days. So, but I'm back and raring to go, Brad. Let's see what this TLT brings, eh?
Absolutely. Now, 800 points, Rosco, that's nothing. If anybody else scored poorly, which I know a lot of people did, that's nothing. I mean, I scored poorly the week before. It is an easy recover. Trust me. There's
it hurts.
Mate, you can recover.
It definitely hurts though. Definitely hurts though, Brad. To go from 1,200 to like 32,000 in 1 week, it just hurts. It's just like, fuck. Everything that went wrong last round literally went wrong. Everything.
Oh, dear.
So you're going to have those rounds, and as we've seen in other years, you can make up grounds in the space of a couple of weeks. So I'm not panicking yet. I'm happy with my team. Did I make a couple of stupid trades early in the season? Bloody oath I did. I think my biggest regret was trading Nico Hines to Nathan Cleary round 2. Of course I regret it, but these things happen. We weren't to know Nico was getting the kicking back. We weren't to know that Cleary was going to get knocked out 7 minutes into the game. So it's just the way it goes.
It is the way it goes. And trust me, that last round had more to do with luck than absolute skill. Oh. If you went through it like unscathed, it was luck, and not necessarily.
And I tell you what, if you look at the team that got the highest score of the round, I don't know if you saw it, Brad. Mm-hmm. There was like no fullbacks, no hookers, like no Cleary, no Hines. His fullbacks were CNK and some other lefty. So it just shows that one good round and you just never know what's going to happen. So it is disappointing, but I'll move on from it and let's smash out these teams, Brad?
Yep, let's get into it. Let's not waste any time because Roscoe's still got a bit of flu and he doesn't want to be here forever. Round 3, Rabbitohs and Panthers. You take it away there, Ross.
Yeah. So Alex Johnson returns from his Achilles injury, which had him since round 21 last year. Isaiah Tass moves into the centres and Campbell Graham is sidelined. I believe he's got some sort of niggle. He hasn't obviously been dropped. Don't know how long he's out for those who own him. And then for the Panthers, Trent Talau comes into the 7 jersey with Nathan Cleary out with concussion protocol. Dane Laurie has recovered from quad injuries to slide in at fullback. Tom Jenkins moved to centres. Paul Alamonte to the wing. And Casey McLean is gone to 18th. Now, wow. Brad, yeah. I'm not going to wait till the end to talk. I'm not going to wait till the end to talk about this. Talk to me about Nathan Cleary. Misses 1 week. 12,000 traded out, I think he's at the moment. Number 1 traded out. I am just purely doing it because I feel like I need Nico, and I think with Cleary on a bye, I think it makes sense. But looking at the games that they've got after the bye, I can see why people are holding him.
Yeah, the other reason you would be selling is because he is going to have a pretty bad price drop. However, some players like Cleary, you don't really worry about price too much. They go up, they go down, and it's all over the shop. But he is going to have a pretty substantial price drop coming up. So, really,
in saying that though, Brad, he's 156. Anything's possible against the Cowboys.
Well, at the moment, yeah, but the Cowboys are a lot better paper team than what they're actually displaying at the moment. I'm not sure what's going wrong there. Something is rotten in the water up in Cowboys territory because they are a better team than that. There's no doubt. But they're just leakage. At that left-hand side, I think it's the left side. Wow, that's just they'll just be running. They'll be running points through that. So just have a look at the Panthers right-hand side sort of attack next week, because that's going to be pretty hot to trot against that left-hand.
Couple of ones just quickly, Brad. I want to touch on Jamie Humphries. We've spoken about him. Definitely still a buy. I know you're getting on him this week. He's got a truck ton of money still to be made. So he's definitely an option. Peter Mamlozu is another one who's an option if you're looking to downgrade. I don't know what I'm doing with Harry Grant at the moment, but for those with Harry Grant, I don't hate the option of going to him or to Starling. And the other one I want to speak about is Isaiah Yeo, Brad. What do you do with a bloke like that? Like, Panthers aren't exactly playing the best footy. Do you just hold him and know that he's a season keeper, or do you get rid of him, bring him back later at a discounted price?
I think it's team dependent. I mean, it really depends what other players you have. Yeo is going to lose money. Haas is going to make money. Tino is going to make money. If you don't have Haas or Tino, then fuck it. Trade him. Get rid of him. Get rid of get rid of Yeo and just go with one of those two players. Definitely buy Jules or whatever you got to do. Or even if you want both those players, you might have to do it, because both of those players are certainly going to score about the equal of what Yeo will, if not better. Yeo is going to be losing money. They're going to be making money. It makes sense. But they're the only two options that you would go for. If you're trading Yeo to somebody else, right, forget it. Just do it to a premium and just do it if you can.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else before we move on to the next game, Brad?
No, I think that's, you're 100% right. Mamazoulis has got the highest BE, I think, of the week. The highest negative BE, that is. So
one of them, he's got one of them,
It makes sense to get in. Colin Matangi is a sell for exactly the same reasons I just said. Yeo is a sell, possibly, but you would only go to a rather premium product. You don't downgrade. There's not too many cheapies there. If you do have to get rid of him, make sure you're going up to. I mean, I think you're actually making money if you get rid of Colin Matangi and buy Tino. So if you don't have Tino, you just got to do it. Talis Duncan is starting to hold that number 13 spot every single week. He seems to be getting a bit better, but he's one to keep a watch on because he's only a slow cash climb at the moment. So
you got Hubner back next week too, Brad, as well. Lockie Hubner from suspension.
Benny loves Hubner. So 100% right. I'm holding Hubner at the moment, and I suggest everyone else do the same. Roosters and the Titans, man. What's happening here?
Right, so Connor Watson's out with the HIA, so he'll miss the game. Zach Clay moves into the starting side. Nat Butcher and Lindsay Collins have been named to return from injury on the bench. Makatoa drops out for the Titans. Ken O'Kinney's out with a neck injury. Jalen DeGroot comes in for his second game at fullback. They've still got Camprera and Jamel Jolliffe sidelined. Interesting. Zach Clocker-Pay's actually been playing some decent footy. This is not Supercoach related at all, Brad, but the bloke was not supposed to be. He's not in the Roosters 30. He's been given a clearance to play because of all the injuries that they've got, but he has made the most of it.
Oh, absolutely. He was a Manly junior at one stage. He's gone about 4 different clubs now. Sorry, still not there. The Roosters team just doesn't keep coming up for us. But anyway, I've got
it here, but there's there. Yeah.
For some reason, she's not displaying there. Certainly Zocker Clay, but I mean, you've got no room. Where are we going to put him? We've got more than enough options at halves that we should be going. So, and I think he's only available half.
I don't even know if he'd be listed on Supercoach, Willie, because he's not in the 30 squad. So I don't even know if he's there. I'm not sure.
I think he
I
has
have
been
absolutely
added.
no idea.
I'm pretty certain he has been added. Keeney getting outed. That's a real loss for the Titans there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure is. Now, Brad, I know you're a Nafu wide owner. Are you playing him this week at all concerned by that bench that you've got Collins and Nat Butcher on that bench? Do you think that changes his minutes much or not?
He's definitely a hold, but I'll make a decision about whether I play him yet. I might not be playing him, but the Roosters at home, I think there's going to be some points in it, but a points game isn't really going to suit Nafu White. No. He wants lots of tackles and occasional line break and things like that. So lots and lots of points is not necessarily a great game for him. It'll be a great game for the likes of Robert Toya. I probably would
Tedesco
to play Toya rather than Nafu White.
Absolutely.
Actually, when you think about it. Yeah.
Yep. Anything else in this one that you wanted to speak about at all, Brad?
Not really. Sandon Smith is still a hold, isn't he, for at least one more week?
I think so.
2 weeks, probably 2 weeks.
I'm going to give him one more. I'll give him a couple of weeks, I reckon. So, yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, the Finns and the Broncos.
Yeah. So for the Dolphins, they've gone for the same 17 as last week. Lemu still a couple of weeks away with his eye socket injury. For the Broncos, the news that we've been wanting to hear, Tags is back in, and it's Dean Mariner making way, not Shibasaki. So great news for Shibasaki owners that we get a couple more rises out of him at least. So happy days with that one, Brad.
Yeah, happy days for that. Corey Pates probably only has one more price rise left in him if you're lucky. Gozewski is still retaining his spot somehow.
Somehow.
Somehow. We don't really know how. But so is Kobe Hetherington.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's pretty stock standard bench for the Broncos. This should be a pretty interesting game, I think.
A couple of players I want to speak about here, Brad. Obviously, one of them is Payne Haas. I would be doing whatever you can do to get him into your team. I think the way he's gone last week and paid an extra 100K, but I'm more than happy to have him for this matchup. And the other thing I'll say just quickly too, Brad, is Tom Gilbert. If you've got him in your team and you don't have Tino, that is just a no-brainer if you got the cash to do that.
Well, he actually made money this week, Tom Gilbert.
Did he? Oh, well, there you go. Okay.
He actually did make money. Look, he's not fantastic, but he's plodding along at the moment. I think he made money. I'm just going to bring him up right now. But you're going to have my personal thought is you're going to have worse options in your team. Yeah. He certainly is not the worst. He's not going to be the worst option that you're going to roll with, and he's going to be worthy of 50 points. He only got 49 points last week, but he's not the worst.
But if it's your only ticket to getting Tino, then I think you probably should do it.
Oh, 100%. 100% right. Look, he made
break even. Sorry, just quickly, break even at 54. Yeah. So he will start losing cash.
Oh, but that's right on his break even at the moment. That's right about what he will score. So you're not going to lose money. You're not going to win much money this week. It's not a huge cash growth. He did make 10 grand last week. He's not a desperation sell, but you're 100% right with that. If he's your only option you have to get to Tino, then I'm afraid Gilbert possibly has to go. You just got to make those choices. You need Tino, and you probably need Haas as well if you can. But that's
if Tino goes close to about 70 or 80 points this week, you're looking at a nice little 70K price rise out of him. So I think if you can't get him this week, like me, I think you can probably wait a week, but I would probably not unless you really have to. If you've got other fish to fry first, absolutely do it first. But if you don't, then I'll be getting Tino this week for sure.
Ben Whittaker's asked us just on that last game. Brimson was in that last lot of team that we looked at. What do I do with Brimo, boys? Got him at 6 at the moment. Can only do a down, not up. Dewey, the HT.
So it's a centre wing.
Yeah. No. He's got him at 5'8". So
he's got him at 6, but wants to go down to he wants to move him to centre wing by the looks.
No. Dewey's available at number 6, right? So,
no, but what he's saying is he saying that he can only go down, not up?
That's right.
So is he saying he wants to move Brimo down? Is he saying he wants to move Brimo down to centre wing? Is that what he's saying?
No, he's saying he can go down in price, but he can't go up in price. So going down in price, that's leaving him Dewey and CHC, which are about your only 2 options there. I don't mind Dewey. He's going to be consistent at least. He is kicking, and he's not going to lose those kicking shoes anytime soon. That's my personal opinion there, Ben, and thanks for tuning in too, man. I personally would be.
I just want an answer, Brad. I want an answer. You can't give me this answer. I'm still waiting for Dewey's line break assist for when he put Skelton down the sideline just before half time. Where's his points? Give us our point.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Shit.
As a Dewey owner myself, I feel ripped off.
Oh, jeez. Not even just as a Dewey owner.
Pinuaki will have his price rises, I think, this week. I think this is his 3rd week coming up now. He's just really puddling along.
He's coming off the bench. He's coming off the bench now too, Brad, as well. So it's not. He's starting this week, is he? Because he was benched last week. No, okay, so last week Keeley was starting and he was on the bench. So okay, all right, cool.
But there's plenty of people that Keeley or even Ray Stone will pop in on that edge very quickly and easily. So that's a bit of a who knows. We'll get into those quick. Thanks for all the questions, boys. There's a heap of them there. I will get to you all in a minute.
Get to them.
Yeah, we might just run through these teams very quickly. St George and the Melbourne Storm. You would think this would be a storm, but you never know. St George on a break might come back hard. Clint Gutherson is currently going to earn a shit ton of money at fullback. Is he a consideration at all for you there, Ross?
Well, he would be if I have to trade Turbo back in the.
Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up there, Ross.
Have you got me? Can you hear me now?
Yep. That's.
I was just saying, I need to get Turbo back in. So he's my priority at the moment, obviously, but it's not ideal that Manly play the second last game of the round again. Do I like Gutho? Absolutely, I do. I can see a lot of people that are going to sell Ponga to Gutho. I think that's probably a pretty popular trade, Brad, and I don't hate the trade. I think we saw Newcastle last week against the Titans look very average without Lucas and Leo Thompson in that team that I know you guys discussed on the pod, but I feel like Ponga is in for a couple of pretty average weeks. So if you're going Ponga to Gutho, I really like that trade. I really do, Brad. I think you can bring back Ponga in 3 or 4 weeks and you'll actually get decent coin out of bringing Gutho in because he'll make it at least 200K, maybe more.
Now for St George, you've got Hamish Stewart is coming back on the bench for those people that have held him and are looking for the cash. Toby Couchman is retaining that number 8 spot. David Clemmer, though, is making an appearance. So we'll see what sort of effect he has in that middle rotation.
It's a very heavy bench, Brad. I think if you're looking to bring in Hamish Stewart, I know he's got a negative break even, but looking at that bench, I don't think I could bring him in. So you've got basically two props on the bench and an edge as well. So I don't see that. To me, that means not great minutes for Hamish Stewart as well. So I probably wouldn't be bringing him in. I just think he'll end up being an A nightmare.
Now, of course, with the Storm, you've got no halfback there, with Jerome Hughes being left out. That means that for a few weeks at least, who's got number 6? It should be number 6.
Wishy workhorse.
Tyrone Wishart. It'd be very interesting to see what happens to the right side of attack at Melbourne because Hughes feeds that right side. Munster often drifts to the left, Hughes to the right. It'll be interesting to see what effect that will have. I'm a Howarth owner, so I will be keeping an eye on that one fairly closely.
Me too.
I
will say for those, I will just say, Brad, quickly, those with Tyrone Wishart, if you're a draft player, get into your drafts, into your waivers, and have a look at him for the drafts.
Yeah.
Obviously not classic, but definitely drafts.
No, 100%. All right, so the next one, you want to do this one, the Cowboys and the Raiders, Ross?
Yeah. Zach Laybutt's listed amongst the reserves as he makes a comeback from his ACL injury. Other than that, it's the same 17. And for the Raiders, Joe Tarpany comes back from suspension. Horse shifts to lock. And Trey Mooney to the interchange bench. Morgan Smithies will miss the match due to concussion. Now, is Horse shifting to lock from prop good or bad for Supercoach, do you think?
I think it's exactly the same. I don't think it's good or bad. It's just a middle. I mean, it's a middle rotation. So, yeah.
But do you think he makes more tackles playing 13 but doesn't get as many runs? Or not?
Not necessarily. I mean, these days, a lock is almost doing the props job, exactly the same. As I said, it's just a middle rotation that he goes into. And he'll probably be the one that plays more minutes if there's an injury to anybody. So, Matty Nicholson has a price rise this week. If you don't have him and you want some cash growth, he will earn you some dollar coins there. So that's another one to watch out at Canberra, yeah?
He's number one traded in this week too, Brad, actually, surprisingly. I'm not bringing him in because I've got other issues that I need to fix first. There was a few people saying to me, it's a concern he only scored 48 points in 80 minutes. Well, go back and watch the game and look how much ball Canberra had in that game and how many times they stood under that goalpost. I still think he's a good buy. I really do. I do like the matchup, and I think this is a good matchup for him. So I do like the purchase.
I watch a fair bit of English Super League, and I got to tell you, if you do watch English Super League, if they're going to even get a bit of that form which he had over to here, they've got a good one there. Not often I say that about some of the British ones that they bring over.
Well, we saw what he did. We saw what he did that first game when he scored 2 tries.
Yeah.
Just example, Brad. So, yeah. The Cowboys, there's not really much to talk about here. I have a feeling, though, that just scroll back down, who's going to probably drop out for Laybutt? Do you think it's going to be Vailea, or do you think Derby drops out if he comes in?
Well, Derby would be the logical one, wouldn't he? That's if Laybutt does come in.
But he's a centre, though, isn't he? Laybutt's a centre, isn't he?
That's right.
Yeah.
So it could affect Purdue. I actually like the look at Derby I actually liked him. He very active. He ran.
I thought he played really well on the weekend. Really good. So
one for you.
I will. Yeah, definitely look better with Bloody Clifford running the ship there. I thought too, but still lacking a lot of go forward as well. So still a concern.
Well, any team that names Bateman over Nanai either needs what the fuck going on there? Like, how do you do that? How do you name?
Well, he got dropped. He got dropped to Q Cup, came back off the bench last game, and now he's still on the bench. I don't know. I mean, if you saw Bateman's pass on the weekend, Brad, that's enough for me. I'm glad we don't have him anymore because that was going into row 20, that pass.
All right, the old Sharkies, the Bulldogs, should be a good game, this one. One team's quite attacking. The other team has been quite defensive to start the year. The back five of the Sharks don't look like they've changed at all, despite the fact Sam Stonestreet looked like he was a bit injured towards the back end of that game. So do watch out for any change there if he is injured. The forwards are all exactly the same for the Sharks. And just a change on the bench, and that's it, really, isn't it? For the Bulldogs, as we know, there is no Matt Burton in the halves there. I'm just not 100% certain by that halves pairing. But Bailey Howard, he was actually more involved than Sexton was last week. Just running my eye down it. Daniel Suhuka for feeder is a nice cheapie. If you don't have him, he still is going to earn a fair bit of money. It's just that how do you fit all these prop forwards that are making money into your team? Very difficult. I'm sort of stuck because I do own for feeder, so I can't sell him, right? So but how do I get in Haas and Tino? You know, it makes it very difficult. So I've sort of put myself in a bit of a corner there. If you got Curran in draft even, I would probably get rid of him. Despite the fact he's starting at number 11, he's still scoring like crap. His PPM
and Preston, I reckon Preston's a sell too, I reckon, if you haven't already.
Well, certainly has a very high PE and would be I had a few people actually messaging me today about Preston, and the answer is the same as what we came up with before. If that's how you get to Tino or Haas, then do it.
Absolutely.
If not, you might have And still, Tipanua still on the bench. I'm sorry for people that went early, but it looks like you've done your dough there. Manly and the Eels.
I could say something on that, Brad, but I won't.
Oh no! People. Rosco last week, I had Tipanua in my team, and I was actually out and about, and he messaged me with about 15 minutes to go, and he said, "Hey, do you realise you've still got Tipanua in your team? He's been moved to the bench." So I quickly did a quick trade out on the run, and I saved myself a heap of pain by doing so. So I'm very glad of that. Manly and the Eels.
So Manly, Turbo's back in after missing last week's game. Hopewadi goes to the wing, and Lalo drops out. Unfortunate for Taniela Paseka, his Achilles injury sees him out for the season. Aloy moves to the starting side and Nathan Brown to the bench. For the Eels, two changes. Sean Russell and bench forward Daniel Kerr come into the starting side, into the Samarani, and Tuivati drop out. Now, I think that's very unlucky for that Samarani. I thought he was actually quite decent. I don't rate Sean Russell at all. I don't know if it was a defensive reason why they didn't pick him and they've gone for Russell instead, but I can't say I agree with Jason Rolls on this one, Brad.
No, it is a bit it is a bit unlucky, but look, let's face it, you're not really going to be playing many Eels players this week, or you're certainly not going to be trading anybody in there. Who knows what's happening with these? Katunga is one to keep an eye on. I'll probably mispronounce that, and I apologise. But he's certainly one to keep an eye on, but you're not getting any price rises out of him till next week. Hopgood is another one. If he's your only option to get up to Haas or Tino, maybe Hopgood might be one to consider as well. Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty Jack Williams. I tell you what, Riles has got a hard on for this fella for some reason. The one good thing he does do is he keeps trying the whole game. I'll give him that. But he does have a massive amount of errors in him at times.
My main concern, Brad, is that the way that Parramatta were using the edge forwards last week, that Katoga, or whatever his name is, he didn't get a touch for 37 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
It just, and I know the Dogs were the same. They just kept going through the middle or going wide, but I just found it weird that you've got an edge forward there who hasn't touched the ball in nearly 40 minutes of football.
All right, Roscoe, you better go through this one. The last game of the round, the Tigers versus the Warriors. What's happening here?
Yeah, so Jarrell Sketton's been named despite leaving the field with a hamstring injury. They did confirm it was only minor, so he may not play. He may play. He has been named, but I'm not convinced he will. I think he probably misses this week and comes back next week. For the Warriors, just the one change. Adam Pompey shifts to the wing. RTS is out with a hamstring injury, and Rocco Berry comes into the centres. That's it. Nice and simple for that one, Brad.
Yeah, ones to watch here is certainly Stafford Tower. You know, he's only in the 200 range at the moment, so he's reasonably cheap. And if you caught a bit of his action so far, it looked pretty decent, very active. It's always hard taking centres, but at the price he is, he certainly. It's a pity he didn't come in a few weeks' time, because then he would have been a nice downgrade. Is hard to take properly at the moment. But he certainly is an interesting one. A lot of people jumping off Alex Seyfarth. Ross, what do you reckon?
If you're going to Haas or Tino, absolutely. But if you're using it as a downgrade, then no, I don't like it at all, to be honest with you. I think it makes no sense. So he got over for a meat pie on the weekend, I'm pretty sure, didn't he? And the Tigers came back from behind and got the win. So I don't think he's a must sell unless you're going to one of those two. We'll put it this way: I wouldn't be selling him to Matty Nicholson. I wouldn't be doing it. I feel like that's sideways.
No, absolutely. You know, yeah. All right, so we'll take that off there now. All right, we've got a stack of questions here. I don't even know where to start.
Let's rip through them. Well, just bring them up and we'll see how we go.
All right, each one. Teddy, do I need turbo? G'day, Teddy. G'day, all our people in New Zealand who are tuning in. Just after 6 o'clock over there. Probably just having a few nibbles for dinner or over with a beer.
A few sherbets.
Do I know? A few sherbets. We know what you're having.
We know what Ted's like.
Do I need turbo? My personal opinion is yes, because I held him. So I'm, but you know, who knows? If you go Gutho, it might be a better decision. That's get one of those coins.
Well, that's exactly it, Brad. Exactly it. Like, are you going to risk Turbo potentially scoring 150 plus at home against Para and a captaincy option to go Gutho, who's going to potentially make you 200K? I don't know, Brad. I think, they reckon Turbo could have played last week. So, to me, he's fit and he's ready to go.
I think we've got an Novocastrian here. Watto, g'day, Watto. How you going there, man? Absolutely.
Mr. Draft Man.
G'day, legends. Thoughts on these trades? Sarko to Howard. I don't mind at all. You're not going to lose money, but you're making money nicely. There is a few in that area, though, that you can move to. Metcalf to Humphreys, well, yeah, absolutely. Metcalf is just treading water. He didn't lose money, didn't make money, and I don't think he'll make money this coming week either. So, and Watto to Haas. Well, I guess if that's how you get to Haas, then do it. Well, I can't argue on any of that.
No, I can't. And, Connor Watson not playing this week. Metcalf's been a bit hit and miss. I think, even if Metcalf was to score well this week, I think you can justify the trade with the money that you're going to probably make out of Humphreys anyway. And I think, to be honest, the way Penrith are playing and no Cleary, I think he can actually score okay. So I actually like those trades, really do.
Yeah. No, I think there's some pretty good ones there. I think we've got a new one here. I haven't heard from Harrison before. G'day, Harrison. But thank you for tuning in, Harrison. Really appreciate the feedback. Should I be offloading Ponga to Pappy or Gutho to get me, because I have Turbo, Cleary and Duffy?
Turbo's playing. Cleary's not. Duffy's not.
No. Oh, Harrison, that's a bit.
I like the trade. I like the Gutho trade.
Yeah, well, Gutho's going to make you money if you want to start, which it looks like you need to start earning money big time. So, Gutho is going to start earning your money. If you can go Duffy up to Jamie Humphreys, you're going to get a shitload of money coming your way out of Humphreys yet. And Cleary, well, he's a very popular trader, but he is going to be back next week. That I can't tell you a yes or no on that one. Rosco gave his thoughts earlier. What were they again?
Well, I mean, he's got to break even at 156, which you could possibly get against the Cowboys. But like I said earlier, I just don't like what I see out of the Panthers, to be honest with you, at all at the moment. I mean, they're not playing great footy. They've got no advantage of playing at home now because they don't have a home ground. They're playing at CommBank. So I don't think Cleary is a must-have, but I mean, it really depends on also, too, you can put Cleary in your starting side, and it really depends on who your flex is. If you've got a decent flex, then that can essentially cover Cleary, which means then you don't have to worry about trading Cleary out. But at the same time, you could pick up Cleary 200K cheaper in 3-4 weeks' time as well. I just don't know how it's going to roll. I just feel like he's not the player he was last season. I think they're easing him back in. So it's a tough one. It really is, Brad. I mean, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know what I mean? So
well, he has to do something there because he had no halfback. So you have to move something. Because, they unfortunately with no halfback available, that's an awful lot of pressure for your flex to try and cover. So you got to do something. Absolutely.
Yeah, it depends. Like I said, it depends on who your flex is. You know what I mean? Like if you've got someone who you know you can get minimum 60 out of in the flex, Brad, then maybe hold the trade. I don't know. I mean, it's a hard one. So, yeah.
All right. Timmy's just sent us a message through that he's driving. So if you're somewhere up in between the Sunshine Coast and Brisbane, get off the fucking road right now. Timmy's driving. And
he's last I heard he's just finished getting his pedicure done, hadn't he? Is that right?
Oh, we should stop picking on him. Stop picking on him, he says. I think Josiah did pop through a g'day to Timmy a bit earlier. I don't know where it went to. He said Timmy got the sack this week. He declared the Broncos were going to win the comp. They give it to you all the time, Timmy. It's a sad world, isn't it? All right. Yeah. Another regular, Mad Mike from the St. Dragons neighbourhood. Doesn't live in the St. Dragons, but he's certainly a very passionate Saints supporter. With Newcastle on the bye in the injury, what do we do with Lucas? Oh, Lucas is a sell, man.
He's gonna, he's still out. He's still out for another 5 weeks. He's going. He's gone, mate. So 100%.
No, that becomes a pretty easy one. And he also pulled me up earlier on Gutho. It's Saint Gutho. We've got to get that right, Rosco.
He say that the other day, didn't he? He was calling it not King Gutho when he was Saint Gutho.
Saint Gutho. My question for Roscoe: any juicy options for my multiple try scorers that stand out early? Oh, we've got a betting question here. Wow, multiple try scorers.
Well, you know what, Ted? Ted, just keep an eye on that Punk Cave chat, mate. I'll put something in there next day or two for you.
I like Turbo for a couple. I've just got to say, coming back, I do think that that's got to be the matchup of the week. I don't mind the Tigers matchup. Where did the Tigers game go to? So,
Warriors at Campbelltown.
Taruba for 2. What do you reckon?
Taruba for 2, yeah, maybe one or two. I don't want to be greedy. You know what I mean? We could be greedy, but we won't be greedy. You know what I mean? And if you really want the value, throw Haas in there for a try against the Dolphins too.
And look, if Stone Street's playing, I don't mind Stone Street. He's a bit dry on the old try front at the moment. Owners are bleeding and wishing the gets better, but I think this sort of a game for the Sharks definitely looks ripe for the picking. I think they could come away with the chocolates big time. Yeah. Benny Whitaker has said he's got the second row of Tino, Horse, and Seafarth.
Yeah, solid.
Week at the Haas and May at forward.
Solid as. Solid as. That's my front row to the T. Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you should touch that. I think that's Seafarth is the only one that you could maybe move on. Yeah, but that's pretty damn good, isn't it? And they've got a good matchup, the Tigers, this week, so I'm not really sure.
Absolutely.
Not really sure about that. I'm not sure how Timmy is texting and driving at the same time.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. Unless maybe he's using Siri. Who knows?
Oh, I don't know.
Brad. Who knows? I do have a couple of trade-in that I want to discuss with you just quickly. Yep. I've got 3 here. I want your opinion on because I don't know where to sit with these. So the first one is Adam Reynolds, Brad. Talk to me about Adam Reynolds. He's going to make some coin, but he's already gone up 111K this week. What do you think? They've got a good draw.
They do, but it's not for me, only because look, if you go back over, I know the sample size at the moment in his current role is 3 games. The only thing I can think of is that Ben Hunt is that shit that Adam Reynolds is now getting all the attacking stats pulling his direction. Is that what's creating this? Because Adam Reynolds had never been Supercoach relevant.
Nah.
Every year he'd come in at about 400,000-500,000 and just plod along at the same old rate, averaging about 50, 60s. I'm just not certain on, but that's me personally. So, don't take me to task on that one, folks, because the only thing I can think of at the moment is creating this anomaly of Reynolds going through the roof is that Ben Hunt is just so bad. At pulling Supercoach attacking stats that Reynolds is now getting the works plus the kicking. But the current sample size suggests he's going to keep scoring well. So
Christian Tupelotu.
A
lot of cash to be made with him as well. We didn't really speak about him earlier.
No, I was
number 7 most traded in.
Yeah, I'm just not certain. He does have an error in his game, but Supercoach doesn't really penalise for errors. I think and I hope that Sangster and the boys are actually going to start addressing this to give us a bit of variation in scores, maybe a few more penalties for stupidity and bad play. But has an error. He's going off like a pork chop at the moment. Flano has apparently told him he has to pull his head in or he'll lose his spot, which is quite interesting. But the bloke looks like he's been off eating sheep on the off-season. So, again, I don't really sure what – right, where did that sudden weight gain come from? Or is this just a typical of a Flano coach team?
Yeah. I think if you're trading – I don't mind the RTS trade to him because obviously RTS is out, right? So if there's no other way, there's no one else in centre wing really firing at the moment. Even in Marzu could be a sell too, Brad. Really, he's gonna bottom out soon. He's gonna start losing cash. Yeah,
well, with Bradman Best, he is the king of glue hands at the moment.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Bradman Best just don't like passing. He'd be a good buy when he comes back to play, because I think Bradman Best is going to make a bit of day. But the passes don't seem to go much beyond him, and he crashes over and scores himself. So who's your next one?
Cam Munster is the last one on the list, Brad.
Well, why would you? He's undervalued. We know that. So if you don't have him, he's a trade-in this week if you can. If you don't have
I'm just surprised that he's number 8 on the list, Brad. I thought he would have been higher than number 8 on the list. That's all.
Well, you just heard my response there. I'm not even looking at the list. I've gone, well, if you don't have him, he's a trade-in.
Yeah.
And I think he's projected to go up about 50 grand this week or so. So,
break-even's actually 31. So he's not going to actually go up that much unless he really goes big.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway,
he'd have to literally get, if he gets 100, right? If he gets 100, he goes up 50K. So he's not one of those players that you have to get this week, though.
Yeah. No, I'll have him. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's it, Brad. They're the three that I wanted to talk about.
Benny's just shot us through another one. I was one of the Muppets that benched Garrick that I heard rumours. Oh, man, that's why, yeah, and this was a good lesson. I also heard the rumours, and in our little chat groups that we have, Rosco was messaging me going, oh, what are we going to do? Garrick's out, and I was nearly prepared to actually swing the axe, and because I had enough players that I didn't necessarily have to play Garrick. But gladly, I left him on the field and just let it go. Yep. Actually, because I was looping, I was nearly just going to throw the captaincy on him and just let it roll. And if he didn't play, well, I'd still get Hines' VC loop. And if he did play, well, I was thinking, well, Garrick, if he plays, it'll be good for, 80 points, surely. So I was very close to pulling that one.
We won't mention any names, Brad, because I don't like to mention names, but Kane Anderson actually benched him as well.
Yeah. Okay,
so I think he was a bit concerned as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got Saluka Fafita. I mean, he's not the worst, though, Ben. I mean, I've got him. He's going to be making us cash again this week, so you can have a lot worse players than him in your team, that's for sure.
The minutes is a concern, though. He didn't come back on after he scored that try. Yeah, he got 42 points with a try and a line break, so it is a concern.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a slow burn.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had him there as a non-playing reserve, and all of a sudden he started getting selected. So I've gone, oh, crap.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, I'll move him on at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it for me. All good.
All right. That's about it for me. Good luck, everybody. And in regards to, say, that Garrick one, boys, you just got to keep your eye on there's a couple of really good groups out there. Of course, ours is one. If you're not a member of it, you should be. And I think if you're listening to this, you are.
Yeah.
A lot of news all the time. Rosco has late news threads up there as well. Keep a watch of them. Tragics is another. Get into that group because they have a lot of chat and a lot of up-to-date information goes via there. But, yeah, keeping abreast of late-minute changes, and I can see a few going to happen this week. But, keeping abreast of those last-minute changes is really important in your team and being able to get the mix just right,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, here he goes. He's throwing COVID through the phone at me.
No, I was the first thing I did when I got home from Griffith last Friday was go straight inside and have a COVID test straight off the bat, and I was so sure that I had it too. I was dead set, absolutely $1 odds that I had it, and I didn't. So I just think it's been a really bad flu, case of being run down and everything too. But I'll side you on, boys. Thanks, Teddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in as always.
Yeah. Love you tuning in, man. And everybody else that commented and tuned in, we really appreciate it. Sunday night, we'll be back again as per usual. Till then, enjoy your super coaching, have fun, and rage trade your ass off.